Hey, what's up guys, it's Leo again and welcome back to the LNoir skate channel. So today we got a pretty quick tutorial. It's not about making a specific skateboard graphic, it's about a little detail that I forgot to mention last time. I explained you guys how to start and make your own skateboard graphics. So what we'll be talking about today is how to transform your logo or your tag, if you're using that, into a vector image which you can use on top of your graphic. Now the reason why I'm doing this tutorial is because two people asked me about it. One was a YouTube comment on my last video, and one was a graffiti artist, one of my buddies, Bricks, who asked me how to convert his tag he made on the actual floor with a graffiti can, how to convert that into a vector image he can use in Photoshop later. So the good thing about this is that he provided me with the image for the tag he wanted to convert, and it's not a very clean image. Now the good thing about that is that I'll be able to show you guys that you can actually do this off any kind of image you got your tag on. If you got your tag on a wall, if you got your tag in an ideal situation, which is black marker on white paper, it doesn't matter. You'll always be able to get good results. So let's get into this. Over here we got a skateboard graphic I've been working on, which is actually one of Bricks' artworks that I kind of digitized. And over here on the side we got his tag. Now in the end you'll get something like this, which would be a vectored image, the vector version of your tag in black, which you can change later, onto a transparent background. Now there are many ways you can tackle this problem and you'll get fine results with all of them. But because I want to create a vector image, there is one specific software we'll be using which is not Photoshop, and that's Adobe Illustrator. Now the reason I'm using Adobe Illustrator is because Illustrator uses vector images, and after we export it in an Illustrator file, we won't have to worry about pixelation and all that kind of stuff. Now before we get it into Illustrator, we have to go through a few tweaks in Photoshop to get the image perfect to use it in Illustrator. Now as you see, the image my buddy provided me is not really an image you would like to use if you're trying to transfer this into a vector image. So first of all, let's get the image up straight. And now I'll just remove all the axes. So let's make sure we're only using the image we have. Now after you've removed all the axes, we got the image. But we have to transfer this image into a black and white image. Otherwise we won't be able to get the good results in Illustrator. Now the first thing we will do is we will go to Image Adjustment and make it black and white. Now after we've got it in black and white, we're already a long way. But still, this is not really an ideal situation. What we will do now is we'll add a few more adjustments to this layer, just to make sure we only have the text and a very black background. So the first thing we will do now is add a little curves adjustment and bump up the contrast. And next we will add a levels adjustment. And now just look at what I'm doing with the sliders. I'm making sure I'm maintaining exactly what I want from the Bricks tag. Because if you remove too much, it won't show up in the traced version in Illustrator. Now that's the timer, which means my salmon is ready. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to invert the image. The reason why we're inverting the image is because Illustrator uses black data instead of white data to trace the image. So we need a white background and a black tag or logo or whatever you're trying to vectorize. So just hit Command I, invert the image. Now usually I would say we're done in Photoshop, at least. And usually you're fine over here if you got a clean image. Right now we don't have a clean image, and as you guys see, there are a lot of white little speckles and white parts that are not really connected in between the black lines of the brick stack. So what we will do is we will add a new layer, take the pen tool with a black color, and we'll just go over all the little details that are missing. Now here, I'm also explaining you guys how to do it in Photoshop if you do not want to use a vector but just want the logo as a pixeled version. Yeah, that's it. Just make sure you're working on a big enough canvas so you won't have a lot of pixelation. But you can go through your entire logo by tracing it like this. Now you'll add a new layer with white. And you'll make sure you get rid of all these little details of black that are going into the white part. And now the last thing we'll do is we'll add a white background layer to the back and just paint over the areas to make sure everything blends smoothly. Now here we're done in Photoshop. We got the logo in black, which at first looked completely different than what we've got right now, with a white background. Now what we'll do is we'll export this as a JPEG, it really doesn't matter as long as you got the high image quality. And next you go into Illustrator. In Illustrator you import the image and you scale it down, and now here comes the beauty. In the top menu of Illustrator there is a button called Trace Image. Now after you hit Trace Image, it will simply look for everything that's black in the image and create a vectored version. Now this one turned out pretty good. We'll just do some slight changes. We'll go into the menu, change it to drawing so we get rid of the background. And as you see, for every logo this will be different, so it doesn't make that much sense of me explaining to you guys exactly what parameters I used. So you just have to play around with the different settings. Now as you see, after playing around, we have the final logo in the way that we want, or at least the way that I want, and probably the way my buddy wants it too. Now what we're going to do is we'll save this as an Adobe Illustrator file. Now the reason we're saving it as an Illustrator file is that Illustrator files are accessible in Photoshop. You can just import it there and it works as a vector image and everything's perfect and you got a great non-pixelated image. Now this is actually the same way I did it with my own logo. Someone asked me what font I used for my logo. I didn't use any font. The logo was custom sprayed by Bricks. It's graffiti on the wall, and I did the same technique with that and I transferred it into a vector image, which now is my logo. Now really, be sure to check out our Facebook page because there is some interesting stuff going on the Facebook page soon. I'll be announcing at which skate shops the boards will be available. I'll be announcing giveaways, videos. I'll be announcing a lot of stuff. But even more important than that is make sure to check out our Instagram page, because on the Instagram page that will be the first place every new graphic will be shown to you guys. Graphics, photo shoots, little videos of what we're doing. That's the Instagram page. So be sure to check that one out. LNoir Skateboards, LNoir Skateboards on Facebook, LNoir Skating on Twitter, but I don't really tweet that much. And LNoir at YouTube. So guys, thanks for watching and see you guys later.